I just put together a list of Fortnite tips I wish I knew sooner. These starting off with the trick that improved my aim the most, and that is learning not to stare at your crosshairs. What you need to do is head into your settings and turn off your crosshairs. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me on this. Load up a custom game and just practice aiming without them. Focus on tracking your target, not staring at the middle of your screen. What happens is you start to develop a better feel for your crosshair placement without having to constantly think about it. You'll naturally get better at following your opponent and reacting to how they move. After doing this for a while, turn your crosshairs back on, and you'll probably notice you're missing fewer shots. It helps you rely more on reading your opponent rather than tunnel visioning on one spot. Give it a try for a few sessions. It's a small tweak, but it can make a huge difference. Another tip you want to keep in mind is the best ways to get consistent early games is by having 2 landing spots that you know inside and out. Not just a spot you like, but one where you know exactly where every chest, floor loot, and ammo box is, where the best rotates are, where you can get mats fast and safely. And it's even better if those 2 spots are on different sides of the map. That way, no matter where the bus path is, you've got a solid plan. You're not scrambling to figure out where to go at the last second. The more familiar you are with a drop, the faster you'll loot it, the quicker you'll rotate, and the more confident you'll feel taking early fights. Because you'll have the weapons and mats you need, and knowing where all the loot spawns are gives you a huge advantage over anyone landing there who's just winging it. So pick 2 drops, jump into a custom or a real game, and learn them perfectly. Make them yours. It's a small thing that makes a big difference when it comes to surviving off spawn and setting up for the rest of the game. Another trick to keep in mind is, if you want to get better at Fortnite, stop only playing Battle Royale. I get it, you drop in, you loot up, and you try to get the win. But think about it, you might go 10-15 minutes without getting into a single fight, and when you finally run into someone, you're panicking and it's over in seconds. That's why you need to start playing custom games. Zone wars, box fights, realistic 1v1s, these are where the real practice happens. You get straight into the action, over and over again. Instead of fighting once every 15 minutes, you're fighting every 15 seconds. And that repetition, it's what makes you faster, smarter, and more confident in every fight. So if you want to level up your mechanics and stop losing dumb fights in Battle Royale, jump into customs. One of the biggest things that separates good players from great players is their ability to read patterns. Most players do the same things over and over again without even realizing it. And once you pick up on their habits, you've already won the fight. For example, if someone fakes a shot to try and bait you into making an edit, and you don't fall for it, chances are they're gonna try it again. A lot of players stick to what's worked for them before, even if it didn't work on you. Don't fall for it twice. Be patient, make them make the first move. Start paying attention to how people play. Do they always crouch walk before they edit? Do they spam builds every time they take damage? The more you notice their patterns, the easier it is to predict their next move. And when you can do that, it's like you're one step ahead the entire fight. So slow things down, focus, and read what they're doing. One of the most important tricks to keep in mind, when you're in a fight, time matters. The longer a fight goes on, the higher the chance another player hears it and decides to third party. And getting caught between 2 players, that's a tough spot for anyone. The best way to avoid that is to end fights quickly. As soon as you hit your opponent for some good damage, make a move. Be the one to take control and keep the pressure on. Don't give them time to heal or reset. Push forward and finish it. Ending a fight fast gives you time to heal, reload, and get out of there before anyone else shows up. And if you do hear another player coming, make a quick decision. Either finish your fight right away or disengage and reposition. Reacting fast can be the difference between surviving and getting caught in the middle. So keep the pace up, trust your instincts, and try not to let fights drag out longer than they need to. If you really want to stay ahead in Fortnite, it's important to pay attention to what the pros are doing each meta. Every season, things change. Maybe it's a new weapon that's overpowered, a building strategy that works better, or just different ways players rotate around the map. The meta is always shifting.
And he is missing every opportunity of the rotates. Thomas and Queasy have to go for a fight here, but no! They get caught and taken down! And just like that!
Pro players are usually the first ones to figure out what works best. They're constantly testing things, and if you watch closely, you can pick up on the strategies they're using to win games. It could be the loadouts they carry, the spots they land at, or even how they play certain endgames. Learning the meta doesn't mean you have to copy everything exactly, but it gives you a solid starting point. From there, you can tweak things to fit your play style, but if you're not keeping up with what's working right now, you're making the game harder on yourself. So watch their streams, study their gameplay, and apply what makes sense for you. Staying on top of the meta can be the difference between surviving and dominating. And if you're enjoying this video, make sure to leave a sub to stay on top of what tricks you need to use to dominate. And before you click off this video, I just want to shout out everyone that made it to the end. I appreciate you guys, and if anyone has any tips and tricks, be sure to share them down in the comments below. Thanks again, and looking forward to seeing you dominate.